What are the rules on resubmitting the same manuscript to people? My name is Gina and I help you make your writing better. So the way this question is asked specifically, the answer is no, don't do this. So they say, is it worth submitting a slightly altered manuscript to the same agent or publisher after about a year? In that case, those three criteria, the answer is no, don't do that. But if we were to change almost any of those three criteria in the question, the answers become different. So let's look at that first piece. A slightly altered manuscript. If we change that to a manuscript that has been overhauled, yeah, that might be worthwhile. Now, you're probably not going to be able to overhaul a manuscript within just a year. That's probably going to take longer than that. But if you totally overhaul the manuscript, it might be worth querying somebody, especially if they gave you an R&R or they gave you some reason to believe that if you made these changes, they would want to see it again. Submitting to the same publisher, change that to submitting to other agents and editors. Let's say that you went out with a prologue and a story that starts in the wrong place, and you now realize what your error was. People had told you before, but you didn't believe them. But you've now racked up enough rejections that you're like, okay, I'm going to delete the prologue. I'm going to move the beginning of the story. I'm going to make it pick up the pace a little bit. Whatever. You make those changes, but the book is not fundamentally different, but it now is presenting a little bit differently. You can submit it to different agents. So we have a slightly altered manuscript, but we are submitting to different people. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Now let's look at the last piece. You submitted it within a year. That is pretty fast. Like, everybody's going to remember it. If you submitted to somebody in April and then you come back and they've reopened for queries in October, they're going to be like, what? I just read this. I looked at this. I told this person no already. But if it's been 6 years, if the market has changed significantly and you were writing to a trend where everyone's like, you know what, I've got kind of a lot of this on my list already, but now the market has shifted and they're like, you know what, I actually could use more of that stuff that I had 6 years ago because I've diversified in other ways, your opportunity might be there now. So the way you've asked your question, the answer is no. Change any of those criteria? Maybe.